Hey guys, welcome to another installment of the Academy, and thanks for watching. Something a little different today. Finally received the Advanced Squad Leader Companion from Derek Ritter at Ritter Krieg. Thank you, Derek, for sending me this copy. And for all your ASL needs, Derek's got you covered, especially for third-party stuff coming from overseas. He gets all of the items from, LFT and Advancing Fire and the in-state, in-country United States third-party publishers like Bounding Fire and Lone Canuck, etc. I received this yesterday evening, and I need to tread carefully around this because this one came out of the blue. I fully admit I'm not one of these people that lurks in the deeper bowels of the ASL communities, such as the Sim World ancient archaeological forums that look like they came off of GeoCities. I don't use Game Squad anymore. So apparently this has been in the work for years, if not decades, by Jim Stahler. So I knew nothing about it, but it got announced, I swear, just a few weeks ago that it was coming out, at least the first part of this uh, Advanced Squad Leader Companion that is rumored to be thousands of pages. And he's been working on it for decades, I believe. And this is part one, chapters 1 and 2, and this is magazine 1. So if that confuses you, I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute in the table of contents. But well, I need to tread carefully because there's expectations about, I think, what people think this is and what it really is. And what I'm going to speak to in this video is an overview of magazine number 1. That's it, because I know nothing about the follow-on issues that are going to come, other than the titles of the chapters in here. So if I speak critical of this issue, I'm only referring to what's in this issue alone, good or bad, to be honest, because I don't know what is coming later. I can only assume it's going to be similar to this, yet different, because there are some advanced topics in the table of contents that are going to be coming some months or years later. I'm not sure when. So I'm only speaking to what I see here because I'm not privy to any info of what's coming. Other people are in the inner circle. I'm not part of the inner circle that trades files back and forth and have been proofreading this for apparently years and decades. Okay. But the first thing I need to speak to right off the bat, and I have not seen anyone talking about this. I mean, this image has been posted on Facebook and probably other places, maybe Discord. Um, and I haven't seen anyone talking about this, maybe because they didn't notice, because it's a little hard to see, but they spelled the name Advanced Squad Leader wrong on the cover of issue number 1. It's hard to notice because when we see the words Advanced Squad Leader, it just kind of, it's burned into our brain so much, we just see Advanced Squad Leader. But if you notice here, let me get a pointer. They forgot the D in advanced on the cover of issue 1 of the Advanced Squad Leader Companion. Unnoticed by a lot of people because I maybe someone mentioned it somewhere, but I didn't see it mentioned anywhere. But this is the Advanced Squad Leader Companion without the D. So that's the first thing you see if you happen to notice. Okay. So this is published by LFT. Xavier Vitry runs the company. I'm not sure who did the layout and whatnot in this. Written by Jim Stahler, consultant Klaus, excuse me if I mispronounce your name. I'm terrible at names and places and historical things like that. Historical names. And other people, I'm sure, proofread it and things like that. But let's just go through it. It's 100 pages. I am not going to go through every page. I'm just going to flip through and show you some representative pages and tell you what is included in it at a high level, because obviously I got it last night. I have not read all 100 pages, but I flipped through it and I have a good idea of what is in it. So part 1 contains chapters 1 and 2. part one of the entire thing. This is issue number 1, which is different from part 1. And let me just show you the contents here. So, we've got an intro here, dedication to Ian Daglish. Okay, here's the table of contents for the whole thing, the proposed whole thing, which is supposedly thousands of pages. I've heard anywhere from upwards of 6,000 pages. I don't know the exact amount, but it is quite hefty apparently. So what we're looking at in this number 1 issue is part 1, chapters 1 and 2. Just this slightly bold part up here. That's what's in this issue. So you can see there are 12 parts, 90 chapters in this, okay? And the cost of this first issue was, from Ritterkrieg, is $42 to $45. I don't remember exactly. It's somewhere in there. And I'm going to say this up front, just to get it out of the way. If you are interested in this in any way, you should buy it. Because from what I've been told, the print run is very small. And based on price and maybe reception and how big it is and how much it's going to cost, it may never be reprinted. I mean, things in ASL are rarely reprinted. So if you're remotely interested in this and you're a collector, or you're interested in the content and you have $45 to burn, buy it. Just do it. Call up Derek or get on his website and order a copy of this, because it'll probably be gone fairly quickly, because there are not many copies of it apparently. So we have some introductions from some well-known ASL players, even some developers like Don Greenwood. And here's the breakdown of this actual magazine. We've got chapter 1, Welcome to Advanced Squad Leader. So it talks about ASL components and a brief history of ASL. Then chapter 2 is Warriors and the Weapons. So it goes through nationalities, infantry, support weapons, guns, vehicles, vehicle nodes, status markers, other equipment, unit size numbers. And then there's some tables in here as well. A preface by Xavier and a preface by Jim on probably what was involved in creating at least this first issue, maybe what's coming, who it's tailored to, and then from Jim probably about his process of working on this over the decades. Maybe he mentions how long he's worked on this in here. Scope of ASL Companion, what the ASL products. There's no third party. I don't believe they talk about any third party things in here. This is all, because there's so much of it. This is specific to MMP, and it references or covers these ASL MMP products. Organization, terminology, acknowledgements, approaching, and then we get into part 1, chapter 1, Welcome to Advanced Squad Leader. Okay. As I thumb through, maybe I'll just thumb through this as I talk about it, and so you can see the layout of this. It's fairly Spartan, fairly simple, and I can understand why it is that way, because if Xavier or whoever's laying this out is planning to lay out thousands of pages eventually, they probably don't have a lot of time to spend on a lot of magazine design, layout design, making it look, formatting and making it look really pretty and beautiful and unique. Because if you have to do thousands of pages of that, it's just going to take up an inordinate amount of time during their development process. Okay, so it's fairly Spartan. The one thing that I noticed right off the bat is, and I'll just stop on this page here, is there's no real, I don't know, consistency with the layout. I would have liked to see, so they're showing examples, at least in this part, of terrain, different types of terrain. They're all, they're different sizes, they're different heights and widths. The counters are pretty consistent. You've got a 1/2-inch counter representation and a 5-inch, but the images of maps, sections are just kind of all over the place. And from what I can tell, they aren't using any MMP maps for obvious reason. They're using third-party maps, and the Batiste 3D maps that he's developed, screenshots from those, but the layout, it's all over the place. I wish it would have been more consistent. Some of the hex sizes are different sizes, the images are different sizes and widths. I wish that would have been consistent to give it a more, I don't know, homogeneous look when you flip through the pages. Okay. The good thing is this is not ASL legalese. It's written in plain English. Um, and the intro, it says this is not a replacement for the ASL rulebook. Obviously, there are no, rule, at least in this issue, number one, there are no rule references on how to play the game. It breaks the game down into common English. In this first part, they're just talking about kind of the history, right? And showing different pictures of maps, map sections. Then we get into chapter 2, warriors and their weapons. It talks about nationalities, the nationality colors, which we all know, and I'll get to who at the end who this product might appeal to. Okay, so then he goes through, what's a multi-man counter, identity, how do you identify them, different classes, right, elite down to conscripts. Okay, this all looks good. It's got all the units. It shows, what a smoke exponent is, strength factor, power, talks what it represents, and that's all good. It may not appeal to diehard ASL veterans because we know almost all this information. Okay, so this issue number 1. Oh, this page is all tweaked. It got bent here. Didn't notice that. So this issue number 1, um, I like I said at the beginning, I honestly I don't think I could recommend it to veterans of ASL because I don't think it's going to be maybe some fun reading, light reading because it's in plain English and it just talks about aspects of the game, close combat value, portage points, what a squad is, what a hero is. But it may be entertaining and fun to read, but I don't think you're really going to learn anything. I think what issue 1, who it's going to appeal to, because there are different parts, there are different sections to this. Let's jump back to the big table of contents. So the first part of it is pretty basic, right? They're talking about nationalities and weapons. Lay of the land is going to be terrain and boards. The play of the game is probably like Orders of Battle or the scenario card, and the roll of fate is the random, rolling dice and how that affects the game, something like that. And then the other parts will get into more advanced topics, and hopefully we'll have tactical tricks and tips and how you do things and how you break down the overrun rules or the OBA rules or things like that. More advanced topics. This first part and probably these first 5 chapters are going to be really basic stuff that I think will only appeal to either new players who want to learn about the system and or starter kit players who are looking at stepping up and trying out full squad leader. Now the problem with that is the price of entry to learning basic information in plain English about the game is fairly expensive. When you get into, if you get into all the first 5 chapters of this, it might run you $200 just to learn. And there are websites out there with articles and blog posts and videos where you can learn all the basics about what a broken squad is or what desperation morale means, or unarmed prisoners. Okay, so honestly I think that's all this will appeal to: new players, SK players, and ASL collectors, because it's going to be a low print run and it'll be a collector's item because they spelled advanced squad leader wrong. I'm just kidding. I don't know if it'll be a collector's item. Support. So they go into support weapons here. They talk about light guns, light mortars, support weapon counters, breaks down the nationality, and I'm kind of at a conundrum of how useful these tables are because there's several of them in here, and they just show a nationality and their machine gun, different types of machine guns, and their range, firepower, portage, breakdown, and repair number. Is that useful to a veteran player? All that information is on the counter already. It's on the counter, but they put it in a table format, and I don't know if anyone will ever reference the table to use it. I guess it's good for you can compare nationalities real quick, and there are several tables like that. So yeah, machine gun table. Here's a light anti-tank weapon table. Same thing. It's got anti-tank rifles, bazookas, Panzerschrecks. That kind of compares them all. And then yeah, same with mortars. Kind of compares their capabilities between the nationalities. Guns. I said I wasn't going to flip through this, but I'm kind of flipping and talking at the same time, which for me is kind of difficult. It's like walking and chewing bubblegum at the same time. Then we get into like definitions of the different characteristics of guns, like what's a black 2-hit number? What does no IF mean? No intensive fire mean? Breaks that down into English. Then we get into vehicles, and you can see none of these are official MMP counters. These are either they're all LFT or maybe they've borrowed from some other third-party publishers. I am not quite. I'm sure there's no critical hit in here. Maybe this is all LFT artwork. All they talk about was this armor factors. Yeah, the armor factor breakdowns. What is a one-man turret? How does that affect gameplay? And then vehicle notes. Again, definitions of things are in the vehicle notes. Lots of that. Vehicle status markers. So as we know, ASL starter kit to not as much of an extent, but definitely for ASL, there are many status and information counters that you have to use. So this goes over vehicle status markers. So it tells you what a bog counter means, what mired means, first fire, what a first fire counter is, and as veterans, we know all this stuff, so it's not extremely useful to us. And Xavier even said in the Facebook post, because people were asking, well, what is it? What's in it? Should I get it or not? Those are all fair questions, but and he kind of said, if it's not for you, at least this issue, just don't get it. And I agree with him. And I picked it up just to show you guys what is in it. And these are my opinions alone, as usual. I think this will appeal to new players that want to know what it's all about. But remember, you're gonna have to pay $45 to find out what it's all about. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So yeah, I basically thumbed through the whole thing. You saw it. I think this is a reprint of an article from Tactiques. Maybe it's in both English and French. It looks maybe no. No, it looks like it's all in English. But yeah, I think it's a reprinted article. And then they give a preview of issue number 2, which will only contain one chapter. This from the 90. This contains 2 chapters. Issue 2 will contain one chapter, chapter 3, and it will be the lay of the land. I don't know how many pages it will be, but it will introduce map boards and overlays on whichever ASL scenario is played. Introduces the terrain found on all those maps. So it's going to be like a terrain primer. Discusses the almighty hexagon. Not sure what that means. Provides a comprehensive line of sight. Okay, maybe it's related to this. Provides a comprehensive line of sight course. diving deep into intricacy of line of sight in ASL and answering all your line of sight questions. Okay, that could be interesting because it's going to tie in the terrain, the ASL terrain, to line of sight. And for SK players, that would be really useful to give you a flavor of the complexities of line of sight in full ASL with elevation effects and offboard artillery where you're dropping smoke and it can be up to a 4-level line of sight hindrance, things like that. So this next one may be a little more interesting, and there may be info to glean from it for even experienced players. But it's only got one chapter. So how many? This is 100 pages. If we extrapolate, maybe it's going to be 50 pages if this has 2 chapters and it's 100 pages. Okay. Then the back cover with some more blurbs from individuals, but that is it for. It's got a 3-staple binder. I'm a little concerned about the longevity of that. The front cover is thick. The entire cover is a thick, really thick cardstock. It's nice printing, semi-gloss paper, full color. I mean, that's nice. This is not a indictment on the entire series when and if it ever gets completely printed. This is my opinions on issue number 1. I have no doubt that the content of future issues, hopefully we see them, will be much more applicable to all levels of ASL players instead of just introductory players. Yeah, so that's Advanced Squad Leader Companion Part 1, Chapters 1 and 2 from LFT. Came to me out of the blue. Well, I think a lot of people, unless you knew it was being worked on by Jim. Okay, so I'll leave it up to you whether you want to buy it or not. I just wanted to give you an overview of what's in it, a little more detailed. Derek did a quick video a week or 2 ago about it. I wanted to flip through it, talk about it, give you my opinion, show you in hopefully decent resolution of what's involved in this thing, and let you know what's coming in issue 2. I think March is supposed to come out, something like that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Academy out. Get to the chopper! If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, thanks for watching, and let me know how I can do better. See you in the next video.